and a standard simultaneous equation are both linear. So look, a standard simultaneous equation would look something like this. See the way there's no squareds or no x multiplied by y's? You ever see that? If you see an xy or an x squared, you use what's called the substitution method. You can't just add directly down and get like a 3x equals 17. That's not possible with this type of equation, okay? So what we generally do is we do the following. What we generally do is we pick the one called the linear. The linear is the one that has no squares in it. Ever see that? You have a choice. You can either get x on its own or you can get y on its own. You pick the one that doesn't involve a fraction. So, example, if I pick to get y on its own, I'm just going to get 2x minus 7 equals y. If I did choose to get x on its own, it would be 2x equals 7 plus y, and then x equals 7 plus y all over 2. You can do it with a fraction, but you don't have to. That's the point. You generally pick the one that has the no fraction. Is that right? At honors level, there's no way around it, but at ordinary level, you're allowed to just do this, okay? Cool. Now, guys, then we're going to substitute it in. Anywhere you see y, what you put in instead? 2x minus 7 squared, okay? All right, you guys? And then it's 2x minus 7 multiplied by another 2x minus 7. Does that kill you guys? So we're going to get 4x squared minus 14x minus another 14x plus 49. That's what happens when you multiply 2x by 2x, 2x by minus 7 by 2x, and finally 7 by minus 7 by minus 7. Now see the 49 on both sides, what happens to that? What happens to the 49 on both sides? They're cancelling, aren't they? Two 49s are going to take each other out. And what do we have left? 5x squared minus equals 0. Right, for those of you doing the minus b formula, a bunch of you would do the minus b formula on this, okay? And if you did, your a value would be 5, your b value would be minus 28, and your c value will be 0. And you can go down and find what happens there. Is that all right? You all know how to do minus b at this stage? Awesome. For those of you factorizing, you take out x, and what's left is 5x minus 28 equals 0. You can either have x equals 0 or 5x minus 28 is 0. And then you get 5x equals 28 and x equals 28 over 5. Is that okay with you guys? All right. Cool. Now, if I was just to take out the calculator for the minus b, it would be minus b, which would be 28 plus square root minus 28 squared minus 4ac, so that's going to be 4 times 5 times 0 all over 2a, so 2 times 5, and we got 28 over 5, and our 5.6, and the other answer is quite simply 0. Same two answers. Okay. Now, have I got full marks? By getting both those answers, have I got full marks? I also have to figure out the y value. The y value is 2 times your x value, take away 7. Is that right? So the first one will be 2 times 0, take away 7. So y would be minus 7. And the second one will be 2 times 28 over 5, take away 7. Yeah, and I'd be inclined to let my calculator do the work on that one. 28 over 5 is 5.6. 21 over 5. Cool with that? All right, been a while since we did one of them, so we're probably a bit rusty. All good? Move on. Okay. That's 4b. Now 5. Okay, guys, what's the big difference between fx and f.67? What's the difference? Instead of x, we replace it with, yeah, because the x used to be directly beside the f. Now it isn't. So that implies that anywhere you used to see the x, you put in 0.67. You're going to use your calculator and you get 4 points. Anybody else have 4.33 on that one? I'll just double check. Or did you check your answer on that one already? Good. That's what I mean. You checked your answer. Yeah. And rounded off to 2 decimal places, 4.33. You all good with that? Now, next thing I'm going to ask you is, what's the big difference between f4 and fx equals 4? What's the big difference? One of them is replace x with 4, find the answer. The other one is the answer is 4, find the x value that causes it to be 4. Everybody get that? So you're going to put your fx equal to 4. So what's the fx again? This formula up here, right? So we're going to put that equal to 4. And I think we're going to dial in our minus b formula in a second. What does it equal 4, doesn't it? And once you bring the 4 over the other side, plus 3. And you could divide both sides by 3 if you want, but realistically, why bother when you have a minus b formula ready to go? So we go a is 3, b is minus 6, minus b is plus 6, and c is, what is it? 3. Get out my calculator again. I'll press the up button because I know I used it recently. See the way I already have it all made, ready to go. So the a value is 3, isn't it? And the b value is, minus 6. I'll change that now. The minus b value, plus 6. And the a and c value, 3 and 3. And yeah, forgive me, I'm just being a shade more efficient today. So whatever you type into your calculator goes onto your answer, right? So this will be clearly written down here as what you did. We're also technically doing plus and minus, aren't we? That makes sense? So that has to be written down in your answer as well. And what we get for the minus answer is we get 1 for the minus answer. And for the plus answer, we get 1. Huh. Yeah, 1 both times. X equals 1 and x equals 1. Yeah, no bother. You all good? Okay. It says value, doesn't say values, does it? So we're technically expecting one answer or not. 2, because there's no plural in the question. Okay. We want to say local minimum. Now, this is a U-shaped function, isn't it? Was it 3x squared? What's the next part? Minus 6x plus 7. That was the function, wasn't it? How do I know it's a U-shaped function? I can put it in the calculator and see what it looks like roughly, but the real reason is if it's a positive x squared, see the way it's 3x squared? That's a U-shaper. If that was negative, what would happen then? N-shaped. N-shapers have maximums, U-shapers have minimums. And you didn't even need to know all that anyway, but look, you should know. Now, next thing. What happened? What's the slope at a minimum? The slope is 0, isn't it? How do we know the slope is 0 at a minimum? Yeah, it's going directly across, yeah? So what is slope when it comes to differentiation? It says use calculus or use differentiation. First derivative. So let's do the first derivative. 2 times 3. Take 1 away from the power. 6x, yeah? minus 6, yeah. Differentiate to 7. Gone. There's your slope. What do we know the slope equals? Slope equals 0. Now we're going to get 6x equals 6 and x equals 1. Now, what we'll do is we'll put 1 back into the original equation to figure out what the y value is, because it says coordinates. Ever see the word coordinates? That means an x value and the y value. So I need both. And you have to use your original equation. Okay, so it's going to be 3 times 1 squared minus 6 times 1 plus, and the answer is 4. So 1, 4 is your minimum. We all good? Okay. Move on to the next one. All right. You have some sort of pattern going on here, and I have to draw the fourth sequence. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. X, 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 X. Everybody happy enough with that? Add 1 onto the dots and add the x's are 1, 4, 9, and then 16. The x's are squared numbers. 1, 4, 9, what's it? 16, isn't it, for the x's? And then just 1, 2, 3, 4 for the dots. Is that okay? Now, the x's are a quadratic sequence. How do I know they're a quadratic sequence? Can anybody tell me? It's going up different amounts, and the second difference is the same. If the second difference is the same, it's known as a quadratic. Is that okay, you guys? Now, it doesn't even ask us that, does it? Nope. Find the formula for the number of dots in pattern n of the sequence. So what's the dots again? T1 is 1, T2 is, T3 is 3, and T4 is. We're just going to use the formula. A plus n minus 1 times D. Everybody knows that formula for linears? It's in your tables, isn't it? Under sequences of series. You only do it for linear sequences where it goes up the same amount each time. What's your D value? D is 1. What's your A value? 1. And what do we get here? Times. And 1 times anything is the same thing, isn't it? And the answer to this question is just Tn equals. And some of you might have knew that already, did you? That whatever the stage, it's the same number, isn't it? T1 is 1, T2 is 2, T3 is 3, T4 is 4. Therefore, Tn is, and T100 is 100. It's exactly the same. Okay, but we're going conservative. We're just going to use the same routine every time. Okay, we all good? Anybody else get that out? Or? Yeah. Find the total number of dots in the first 20 patterns of the sequence. Did I skip a question, or is that correct? Dots. Dots. Now, is everybody familiar with what Sn is? Sn? Sn is your sum. So I'll give you an example. S1 is the same as T1. And what's T1? 1, isn't it? S2 is the same as T2. T1 plus T2. So that's 1 plus 2. What do you think S20 is going to be the same as? 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus ... 19 and plus 20. You see the way we have to go all the way up? Now, you get full marks for doing that. You'd get full marks right now going into your calculator and writing in 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7 plus 8. Let's go all the way up. You get guaranteed marks. I'm going to show you the other methods, okay, which is actually more difficult in this case, but you don't always get a choice, so you'll need to know it anyway. Sn form, exactly. N over 2 into 2a plus n minus 1 times d. What's your a value again? 1. Your D value. What's your N value for this question? 20. Just replace all the numbers with the numbers we have. So it's going to be 20 divided by 2 times 1, yeah? And then it's going to be 20 take away 1. What's 20 take away 1? Times 1. And then that's a lot quicker though, isn't it? And then just throw all that into the calculator. I'll probably fix that to 10 and that to 21 because that's easy. And then 210. It's a lot easier than adding up all 20 numbers, isn't it? What's up? 2 times 1 is 2. 19 times 1 is 19. Huh? No. 2 times 1 is 2. 19 times 1 is 19. 2 plus 19 is 21. Alright. Ready? Now here's the number of crosses. So what do you reckon? 9. Next one. Next one. Next one. Would everybody agree? 1 squared, 2 squared, 3 squared, 4 squared, 5 squared, 6 squared, and therefore n would be n would be n squared. Is that okay with you guys? So Tn would be n squared. Find the number of crosses in pattern 12 of the sequence. So what do I have to do there? Yeah. That was a nice question actually. They were feeling soft that year. We all good? Okay. Find the number of shapes, dots and crosses in pattern 10. Would everybody agree that number of shapes equals number of dots plus number of crosses? Everybody happy with that? What was the Tn formula for number of dots? We answered a couple of answers back. I think it was Tn equals. It was not just n. I'll go back for a sec. Do we not already answer? Answer to part 2. That one there. Tn equals n. Yeah, we won't redo it because we already have it. Is everybody happy that Tn equals n? And what about the crosses? What did we get for the answer for the crosses? Tn equals? All right, happy days. Now, do you want to check this out? We'll check it out, all right? Ready? What would T1 be of interest? T1 would be 1 plus, and what's 1 plus 1 squared? 2. Let's go back to the original shape and see what we had. Oh, look, there's 2 of them. 1, 2. Let's try T2. We have to get 6. If we don't get 6, it's wrong. What would T2 be? 2 plus, and there's 6, isn't there? So now we know we're on track here. So what's T10 then? There you go. And we checked if we were correct using the existing T1 and T2, didn't we? We used them to check if we were correct or not. Okay. Oh, good. Okay. Is there another part to this? Pretty difficult. Okay. Okay. It gives us a it gives us a formula to use though, doesn't it? Okay, so I have an idea. Okay. See Tn. What's the difference between Tn and T1? And anywhere you see an n value, you put in 1. Is that okay? And what did we get there? Did we get is that just a half plus b plus c? We cool with that? And what's t2 then? What do we need to do with the ends? Yeah. And what do we get to here then? 4 divided by 2? 2 plus 2b uh, plus c, okay? Now, what's the next part then? Hence or otherwise find the value of b and c. Okay, see the way that says t1? Ever see the way that says t1? What is t1? What is it? T1 is 1. So we know that a half plus b plus c actually has to equal 1. And what about the other one? What's t2? Go back up the top here. What's t2? 3. So t2 is 3. So we know that 2 plus 2b plus c equals 3. You go with that? I'm going to move the 2 over to your side. What do I get? 3 take away 2? 1. Okay. I'm going to multiply both sides by 2. Let's get rid of the fraction. Actually, you don't have to if you don't want to. It's your call. Alright, we bring the half over to your side and take it away from 1. What's 1 take away a half? B plus C equals half. What type of formula are the two of these combined? A standard simultaneous equation. Which letter would you like to get rid of? Your choice. Multiply this one by minus 1. What do we get? 2b take away b. B equals a half. And your c value then? If b equals a half and a half plus c is a half, what's that mean about your c value? Yeah, c has got to be 0. And we're done. All right. Is that the last one? Question 7. When you make 12,012 euro, you pay 0.5% USC. Anything above that, the next 8,472 euro you make above that amount, you pay 2%. And then after that, the next 49,560 you make a 4. You get charged 4.5. At what level of income does a worker start paying the top rate of USC? So So here's what you're gonna do. See all these incomes combined? Add them all together. Once when you add them all together, is everybody happy with 70,044? There you go, Alex. After you make 70,044 euro, you start paying what's called the top rate of USC tax. Okay? Your 70,044 is broken up into your first 12,000, where you pay 0.5, your next 8,472, where you pay 2%, and then it's broken down into the next 49,560, where you pay 4.5%. Is that okay? Now, is that what part B is? Okay, so we have to get done at all three rates. Is that okay? So let's do 12,012 multiplied by 0.5%. 60 euro and 6 cents. All right. What about the next 8,472 at 4.5%? 169, 0, 447. Yeah. Because we're talking, is that what you said? 4. Thanks. Thanks. So that's 4. Thanks. Right. Next one. You're paying your next 49,560 at, oh, sorry, that was 2%, not 4.5, wasn't it? Sorry, that was 2%, not 4.5. And you're next paying your 49,560 at 2230.20. We all okay with that? Okay. And when you add them all together, Alex? Thank you, Alex. All right, thanks. All right, next one, okay? C. John's annual income is 54,800. Find how much UFC he'll pay. All right, let's figure this out. Let's go back to the first. We'll use these numbers here, won't we? The first 12,000. We can actually just grab this part here. See this part of the last question? Okay. I'm just going to grab that again. Why am I grabbing that again to use? Anybody tell me? He's going to use that at the start of his wage, isn't he? Okay. So is everybody happy there? Now, what we're going to do is see the 54,800. We're going to take away 12,012 and 8,472 because we've already paid that much. That part of our money has already been accounted for. So how much do we have left then? 34326. We still have 34,326 euro that's unaccounted for. But we know that it gets charged at 4.5%. What you get for that, Alex? And then when you add it all three together, what I wrote down. Grand. Real good. So you're just calculating how much money you're making. Okay. Now, next one. Mary pays this much in USC in 2020. Find her annual income. Well, put it this way. Did she pay more or less than the last question? Did Mary pay more or less than part C? Less than part C, which means her answer better be less than 54,800. See those first two numbers? 60 euro and 6 cents and 169.44. I'm going to take the two of them away because we definitely paid more than that. So what is it? Take away the one more time, 1,000. Yeah, perfect. Everybody see that? Because we know you paid this much, and we know that you definitely earned over your first 20 grand. So that's the two of them gone. Now, see this amount of money here. This amount of money was charged at the 4.5% bracket.